Have you ever wondered if the daily shower you've always taken, believing it keeps you clean and healthy, might actually be doing more harm than good, especially as you get older? What if that hot shower or long bath, the one you rely on to wash away the day, is actually stripping your skin, draining your energy, or even increasing your risk of a fall? It's a surprising thought, isn't it? We've been taught for years that more bathing equals better hygiene, but as we age, things change. Today, we're uncovering how often seniors should really bathe, and it might not be what you think. We're talking about thinner skin, hidden health risks, and a whole new way to think about cleanliness after 70. Stick around until the end because we're sharing 7 eye-opening facts that could completely change how you or your loved ones approach personal care. Plus, we'll reveal a simple, expert-approved trick that keeps seniors feeling fresh and healthy without ever stepping into a slippery bathroom. It's surprisingly easy, and you won't want to miss it for a safer, more comfortable life. Let's dive in. Daily baths can actually harm senior skin. Growing older is a natural process, and as we pass 70, our skin changes in ways that affect how it looks and feels. Research from places like the University of Pittsburgh and the University of California, San Francisco shows that as we age, our skin gets thinner. The top layer, the epidermis, becomes less dense, and the layer underneath, the dermis, gets weaker because it makes less collagen and elastin. The glands that make natural oils, which keep our skin soft, slow down, and sweat glands become less active, reducing the skin's ability to stay moist. This makes skin drier and more easily damaged. It doesn't have the strong oily barrier it used to protect it from the environment. For seniors, a daily bath, especially with hot water and harsh soaps, can turn this weakness into a real problem. Each shower or bath washes away a little bit of oil the skin has left, leaving it exposed. Dermatologists point out that this doesn't just cause discomfort, it starts a chain reaction of problems. First, it causes dryness, which can feel tight and prickly. This can lead to itching because the skin's barrier is damaged, causing irritation. In more serious cases, a condition called xerosis can develop. Xerosis, which comes from the Greek word for dry, turns the skin into a rough, scaly surface, sometimes with cracks that hurt with every movement. These cracks aren't just a minor issue, they can bleed, leading to infection, or make existing conditions like dermatitis worse. And the physical effects of overbathing aren't the only problem. Imagine how frustrating it would be to constantly itch, which keeps you from sleeping, or how painful it would be to have flaky skin that catches on your clothes all day. For those who have trouble moving or have arthritis, the effort of bathing every day can be exhausting, and skin damage only makes things worse. Research says that hot water, in particular, makes things worse by dissolving lipids, the fatty compounds that are vital to the skin's barrier. Alkaline soaps also mess with the skin's natural pH, which should be around 4.5 to 5.5. For older adults, this isn't just about looking good or feeling comfortable, it's a real health risk. Damaged skin can't protect against bacteria, fungi, or allergens, which can lead to infections or make chronic wounds like ulcers worse. So, what starts as a well-intentioned habit can slowly damage a senior's health, showing why we need to rethink how often they shower. Consider the story of Mrs. Gatewell, who loved her daily baths. After a few years, her skin became dry and cracked, leading to infections and multiple visits to the doctor. When she reduced her bathing frequency to twice a week, her skin recovered and she felt much better. Less bathing lowers infection risk. We often think being clean means washing frequently, but for seniors over 70, bathing less might actually help protect them from infections. This isn't just a guess, it's based on science. Research from sources like the New England Journal of Medicine shows that older adults who bathe less often have fewer skin tears, those small but dangerous rips in the skin that might seem minor but can cause big problems. Unlike younger skin, which heals quickly, aging skin is thin and slow to heal. Tears in this fragile tissue heal slowly because of reduced blood flow, a weaker immune system, and slower cell turnover, all of which happen as we age. These open wounds can let in bacteria like Staphylococcus aureus or Streptococcus, which can cause cellulitis, abscesses, or even systemic infections like sepsis in serious cases. The connection between bathing habits and skin tears is that water and soap affect aging skin. Washing too often, especially with hot water, breaks down the lipid bilayer, a microscopic layer of fats and oils that hold skin cells together and keeps moisture in. Harsh detergents make this damage worse by breaking down proteins like keratin, leaving the skin brittle and likely to split with even slight pressure. Think about pulling on a sweater or rubbing against a rough surface. Scrubbing, which people often do to feel clean, adds more stress, further weakening the skin. Over time, this constant washing and drying creates a situation where there are many small cuts and tears, each one a possible entry point for germs. On the other hand, seniors who bathe less maybe every other day or 2 to 3 times a week. Give the skin a chance to keep its natural oils and rebuild its defenses. Spot cleaning with a damp cloth for areas like the armpit so groin can keep them clean without washing the whole body. This approach has more advantages than just preventing infections. Fewer skin tears mean less pain, fewer trips to the doctor, and a lower risk of problems that could lead to hospital stays, which is especially important for seniors who have trouble moving or limited resources. The New England Journal of Medicine reported on a study where reducing bathing frequency led to a significant reduction in skin infections among elderly patients in nursing homes. Falls are a bigger threat than dirt for seniors. The bathroom isn't just for getting clean, it's a potential danger zone, and bathing every day makes it even riskier. The American Geriatric Society warns that falls are a leading cause of injury and even death for older adults. Statistics show that more than 1 in 4 adults over 65 falls each year, and these falls account for millions of emergency room visits, many broken bones, and a large number of deaths. For those over 70, the risk increases as muscles weaken, reflexes slow, and conditions like arthritis, neuropathy, or osteoporosis affect balance and stability. Wet, slippery surfaces, like glossy tiles or a smooth bathtub, turn bathrooms into a minefield for seniors who already have trouble moving. Bathing every day makes this danger worse in ways we might not realize. Every trip to the shower involves risks like stepping over the tub edge, balancing on one leg to get in, or trying to get out while dripping wet. Add in steam that makes it hard to see, the disorientation of heat, or the tiredness of standing for too long, and the chances of a fall increase greatly. The American Geriatric Society points out that bathing often happens when people are most tired, like in the morning or evening, which makes the risk even higher. A fall in this situation isn't just a bruise or a scare, it can mean a broken hip, a brain injury, or a series of problems that reduce their independence. Now, consider a reduced bathing schedule, like once or twice a week, with sponge baths or sink washes for key areas. This simple change cuts the number of risky bathroom visits in half or more. The choice here is clear: being perfectly clean is less important than being safe. Dirt, sweat, or a slight odor are much less dangerous than a broken bone or a concussion. For seniors who live alone or have limited support, avoiding a fall can mean the difference between staying in their own home and moving to assisted care. Simple changes like installing grab bars, using non-slip mats, or switching to seated showers can help, but reducing how often they bathe addresses the main problem. Fewer trips mean fewer chances to fall. Data supports this idea. Studies show that fall prevention strategies that focus on reducing unnecessary risks lead to measurable decreases in injury rates for older adults. Putting safety over an arbitrary standard of daily hygiene is a smart move that prioritizes well-being. Your body cleans itself. It might sound strange, but your body has an amazing self-cleaning system that doesn't need water or soap. This isn't some new age idea, it's biology working as it should, perfected over millions of years. The skin isn't just a passive surface, it's a living ecosystem full of good bacteria, natural oils, and a carefully balanced pH and moisture level. These things work together to keep it healthy, strong, and surprisingly clean. For seniors whose skin is already fragile due to age, bathing too often can mess up the system. Cutting back on showers allows the body to do its job, showing that nature really does know best. At the center of this self-cleaning system is the skin microbiome, a lively community of microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, and even tiny mites that live on the skin surface. These aren't just germs to get rid of, many of them are helpful partners. Species like Ketobacterium acnes and Staphylococcus epidermidis eat dead skin cells, sweat, and extra oils, breaking them down into harmless substances while keeping harmful germs away. These good bacteria also make antimicrobial compounds, like tiny chemical weapons that fight off invaders like Staphylococcus aureus, which often causes skin infections. Meanwhile, sebum, the oily substance made by sebaceous glands, coats the skin in a protective film that traps moisture and keeps dirt out. Dead skin cells naturally fall off through a process called desquamation, which sheds grime along with them. Together, these three things, microbes, oils, and cell turnover, keep the skin balanced without needing to scrub. Washing too often, however, disrupts the system. Hot water dissolves sebum, leaving the skin dry and unprotected. Harsh soaps kill off good bacteria and disrupt the microbiome's balance, making it easier for irritation or infection to occur. For seniors, who already make less oil and have less microbial diversity as they age, this overzealous cleaning can cause more harm than good. Research from dermatology journals, including studies in the Journal of Investigative Dermatology, suggests that washing too much is linked to higher rates of dryness, eczema flare-ups, and even allergic reactions, all signs of a system that's out of balance. On the other hand, bathing just a few times a week, maybe with mild, pH balance cleansers when needed, allows the skin to stabilize. Odor, often the biggest concern, can be managed by washing areas that sweat a lot, like the underarms or groin, leaving the rest of the body to its natural process. For older adults, this approach isn't just practical, it's freeing. It reduces the physical effort of bathing, keeps the skin healthy, and works with how the body is designed to function. Experts say once or twice a week is enough. Get ready for a revelation that might change everything you thought you knew about personal hygiene. Leading experts in geriatrics and dermatology now suggest that seniors only need to bathe once or twice a week. This isn't about giving up on cleanliness or letting standards slip, it's a thoughtful, evidence-based change designed for the special needs of aging skin and bodies. Far from being neglectful, this approach shows a growing understanding of how washing too much can harm rather than help those over 70. It's a big change from the idea that we should bathe every day, an idea that's been ingrained in our culture, but it's gaining support as science reveals what truly keeps us healthy as we get older. The recommendation comes from many respected sources, including dermatologists, geriatricians, and researchers who have studied how aging and hygiene interact. For example, guidelines from organizations like the American Academy of Dermatology and insights from experts at places like Johns Hopkins University highlight that frequent bathing isn't necessary for everyone. Aging skin, as we've seen, is thinner, drier, and less oily, making it easily damaged by water and soap. But the advice goes beyond just skin deep, it's about making hygiene fit a senior's overall condition. Experts say that how often someone should bathe depends on their individual factors, like how active they are, their health, and what makes them comfortable. A retiree who spends most days indoors, for example, doesn't sweat and get dirty as much as a younger, active person or even a senior who gardens every day. Someone with incontinence or chronic wounds might need to clean certain areas more often, but doesn't need a full bath. This approach challenges the old idea that daily baths are a universal standard, an idea that came more from soap ads in the 20th century than from medical needs. The evidence doesn't support this idea for seniors. Studies show that bathing too much is linked to higher rates of skin breakdown, irritation, and even pressure sores in frail adults, while washing less often protects the skin's natural defenses. Practicality also plays a role. Bathing once or twice a week, supplemented by washing key areas like the face, hands, or groin with a washcloth, keeps them clean without the strain of a full rinse. Experts also note that odor, often the main reason for frequent bathing, can be managed with minimal effort. Deodorant, a quick wipe, or a change of clothes can be enough. For seniors, this isn't about cutting corners, it's about adapting intelligently to what their bodies need, proving that less can be more when guided by science and common sense. Daily baths can exhaust seniors. Bathing might seem simple, but for many seniors over 70, it's a hard task that takes a lot of physical effort. The Journal of the American Medical Association, JAMA, has highlighted this often overlooked reality, explaining how washing can drain energy, strain aging bodies, and even cause debilitating symptoms. What feels routine when we're young, stepping into a shower, standing under the water, or climbing out of a tub becomes a marathon of effort as muscles weaken, joints stiffen, and stamina decreases. Cutting back to fewer baths doesn't just protect skin or reduce the risk of falls, it saves valuable energy, turning bath time from a chore into a manageable ritual. Physical demands of bathing are complex, and JAMA research breaks them down in detail. For example, standing for 10 or 15 minutes under warm water can stress the cardiovascular system, especially for seniors with heart conditions or poor circulation. The heat dilates blood vessels, which can lower blood pressure and cause dizziness or lightheadedness, making them more likely to faint in a slippery space. Then there's the breathlessness. Those with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, or weak lungs might struggle to breathe in the steamy air, panting through what should be a relaxing moment. For the millions of seniors with arthritis, nearly half of adults over 65, according to the CDC, every movement hurts. Bending to wash feet, reaching to scrub the back, or gripping a bar of soap inflames stiff joints, turning a bath into a painful ordeal. Even stepping in and out of a tub requires balance and strength that they might not have anymore, especially if neuropathy has dulled the feeling in their feet. The aftermath is just as tiring. Toweling off, trying hard to reach spots, and dressing after it uses up what little energy they have left, leaving some seniors so exhausted that they need to lie down. JAMA notes cases where this exhaustion lasts, cutting into the day's activities, like skipping a walk, missing a meal, or dozing off instead of socializing. For those who are frail or have chronic fatigue, bathing every day can put them in a cycle of depletion, reducing their independence. In contrast, a lighter schedule, bathing once or twice a week, perhaps with a chair in the shower or a handheld nozzle to make it easier, saves energy for what matters: playing with grandkids, pursuing a hobby, or simply enjoying the day. Studies support these benefits. Reduced bathing frequency is linked to fewer reports of fatigue and improved mood among seniors, suggesting that saving energy boosts not only physical health, but also mental well-being. For older adults, reducing showers isn't a concession, it's a smart choice to regain vitality and prevent bath time from becoming a struggle. Hygiene isn't just about bathing. Here's the biggest change in thinking of all: hygiene isn't the same as taking a full bath, and for seniors, that's great news. The idea that cleanliness requires a daily soak is an old cultural belief, not a universal truth, and modern options show you can stay fresh, healthy, and dignified without stepping into shower or tub. Wet wipes, hand washing, oral care, fresh clothes, and regular grooming create a set of smart, tailored self-care practices that avoid the risks of frequent bathing while keeping seniors comfortable and confident. This isn't about lowering standards, it's about changing them to fit the realities of aging, proving that effective hygiene is less about how much water you use and more about making smart, individual choices. Think about the options, each a practical and powerful tool. Wet wipes are primos and cloths that offer a quick, gentle way to clean key areas like the underarms, groin, or face, where sweat and bacteria tend to build up. They're soft enough for fragile skin, don't need rinsing, and eliminate the need to stand or balance on a slippery surface. Hand washing, a key part of preventing infections, tackles dirt and germs where they're most likely to be found on fingertips that touch doorknobs, food, or faces without washing the whole body. Oral care, often forgotten in discussions about bathing, is a hygiene powerhouse. Brushing teeth, flossing, and using mouthwash remove bacteria that cause odor and disease, keeping breath fresh and health intact. Fresh clothes, made of light, breathable fabrics and changed daily, wick away moisture and odor, while a quick comb or wipe of the hair keeps them looking neat. Add in targeted solutions like deodorant or spritz of body mist, and you have a routine that delivers results without the effort of a full rinse. This approach isn't just convenient, it's a game changer for seniors facing physical or environmental challenges. Imagine an 80-year-old with shaky hands or a bad knee. Wrestling with a shower head or climbing into a tub might be daunting, but wiping them with a cloth or changing a shirt is doable. For those in colder climates, where wet hair and chilly bathrooms can lead to shivers or pneumonia, dry shampoo or a warm washcloth is better than a full bath. Studies support this change. Research in geriatric nursing shows that seniors who use these bathing alternatives report feeling just as clean and presentable as those who bathe daily with fewer skin problems or feelings of fatigue. It's a strategy that preserves dignity, especially for those with caregivers, because it allows them to maintain hygiene on their own terms, not on a rigid schedule. Hygiene, it turns out, is less about soap and more about what works for the individual, making it a flexible, low-risk art form for seniors to master. So, for seniors over 70, the daily bath, long considered essential for health and cleanliness, might actually be harming their well-being. The evidence is growing, and it's hard to ignore. Aging skin, with its thin layers and reduced oil production, suffers from frequent washing, becoming dry, itchy, and cracked. Safety concerns are also significant, with slippery bathrooms posing a forward risk that is much greater than the risk of a little dirt. Energy demands increase, draining stamina from bodies that are already tired. Yet, the body itself offers a counterintuitive solution. Its natural cleaning systems, from good bacteria to shedding cells, thrive when left alone. Together, these factors suggest a bold new idea: bathing less often, perhaps once or twice a week, tailored to individual needs, could lead to healthier skin, fewer hazards, and a better quality of life. This isn't just a random guess, it's a combination of science and practicality, supported by experts from dermatology to geriatrics. Organizations like the American Geriatric Society, the New England Journal of Medicine, and the Journal of the American Medical Association all provide data showing that overbathing causes more harm than good, while reduced routines protect and preserve. Think about the benefits: skin that stays soft instead of scaly, mornings without exhaustion or dangerous slips, and energy saved for a walk or a conversation instead of a tiring shower. It's not about giving up on hygiene, but about reimagining it, swapping the tub for a wipe, the soak for a fresh shirt, and trusting the body to handle the rest. The key is personalization. A marathon running 75-year-old might need more than someone who is bedridden, just as climate, culture, or health conditions shape the ideal routine. That's why talking to a healthcare provider is essential, whether for yourself or a loved one. They can find the perfect balance, combining medical knowledge with personal preferences. Who knew that reducing bathing could lead to a better life? It's a quiet revolution in self-care, changing decades of habit. For seniors, it's a chance to shed an outdated burden and embrace a lighter, safer, more vibrant way to age, one that respects the body's wisdom over society's rules. Less water, less risk, more life. That's the unexpected promise of bathing less, and it's a truth worth considering. So there you have it, the surprising truth about how often seniors should bathe after 70, and why less might actually be more when it comes to staying healthy, safe, and comfortable. We've covered everything from how daily baths can dry out fragile skin and increase fall risks, the fact that your body's natural processes might do a better job than you think, and even how experts recommend scaling back to just once or twice a week. It's a lot to take in, right? So I want to hear from you. What have you learned so far about senior hygiene that's opened your eyes? Take a moment and think, what's one thing from this video that stuck with you, something you're ready to bring into practice in your life or share with someone you care about. Maybe it's swapping a daily shower for wet wipes, prioritizing hand hygiene, or just rethinking what cleanliness means as we age. Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to see how this is hitting home for you. For more eye-opening insights like this that could help you live a smarter and healthier life, consider subscribing to stay informed about new uploads. Thanks for watching.